After Finn group escape from the ice garden, Lepiya, Bel, Tiona, and Leyon penetrate deeper, and they feel the corrupted spirit's power growing. Magic-charged wind blows from the abyss, but twisted, painful, impure. The ceiling glimmers and an immense jewel shatters, and surges a woman with black hair and divine beauty. It was the Black Lady Ice Wallenstein, corrupted copy, but adult and majestic. The Black Lady pronounces a name tinged with sweetness and dread, pronouncing the name Arya. Bel attempts to attack with Firebolt, but the spell diverted by a mere breath of this Black Maiden and explodes without touching her. She responds with a whisper and drawing a black wind lance piercing Bel's shoulder and lacerated by successive strikes. Lepiya and Tiona are blown away. Their broken bodies crash into depths, while the black wind annihilates everything in its path. The gods realize that this creature is the demonic world's supreme guardian, created from ice memory and magic, the projection of her mother, Arya, the great wind spirit queen. The Black Lady is the perfect materialization of ice dream and trauma, an absolute beauty fused with annihilating power. Bel and Lepiya are gravely wounded, and the black wind descends to finish them, and everything becomes absolute darkness, until light pierces the shadows. A voice resounds, and it was the arrival of Leyon Trigger's counterattack, marking the true beginning of final confrontation against Black Lady. While the Black Lady is until now invincible, repelled magical assaults with a breath. Leyon the Teacher Knight emerges with a light sword to force Arya into serious defense. Their confrontation becomes pure duel, and Leyon doesn't hesitate risking his life in close combat, refusing all caution, embodying adult's self-denial to protect Bel and others. With each new sword invoked by his superior magic blaze of round, Leyon repels the Black Lady, his unshakable will serving as rampart for Bel, Lepiya, and Tiona, galvanizing all observing. Facing Black Lady, Leyon divides the battle, serving as shield enabling Bel and others retreat. While Leyon holds the Black Lady, Bel carries Tiona in his arms and flees through flesh maze, Lepiya at his side, both wounded but driven by urgency. Lepiya, devastated, she recites and invokes her most powerful magic's Lavatane, the flame walls covering the battlefield, to stop monsters' progression and guarantee escape. Lefiya suffers dramatic wound and her left arm torn by corrupted spirit's shock waves, replaying Filvis's traumas. But she doesn't yield, recalling true despair is never the end. She transforms pain into power, annihilates enemies with ultimate spell, broken but smiling, passes the relay to Bel. And Bel and Tiona leave Lepiya there, just like Leyon did, to fight the Black Lady. On the other side, Finn's group discovers the dungeon's brain room, a sinister organic cavity with unfinished structure directly linked to magical flux from ice. From this cavity's heart bursts a feminine, majestic creature, naked, with a third eye, horns, and serpentine tail connected to magical sphere. Her hybrid aspect recalls Arya and a fallen spirit simultaneously. She possesses ice voice, gestures, and magic, but also a corrupted spirit's malice and cruelty, addressing Finn and others by name and everything simultaneously familiar. Finn, knowing the stakes, accepts the challenge, and he prepares and enchants his ultimate magic. The entire Familia reacts to every opening. Gareth attacks. Riveria throws magic javelin. Tsubaki strikes. Tione charges. Amid and Anakitty support. Everyone strikes in concert, creating decisive breach. Finn's ultimate attack only cracked the wall's surface without piercing through. An invisible presence of unknown power had stopped the lance mid-flight, revealing the creature fully incarnated, the monstrous ice with golden hair and dragon pupils, bursting with laughter, claiming she'd read Arya's offering to become perfect. This ice replica wasn't merely the Sullied's fusion. It was a demon designed to counter Finn's very weapon. This monster, called the Slaughter Emperor Regina's, surpasses all dungeon logic. When Finn seeks new opening, the monster attacked Gareth, breaks Riveria's defense, and sweeps Tione, Tsubaki, and others with impossible-to-follow attack sequences. Its voice, simultaneously seductive and sadistic, echoes in the chamber, laughing at their weakness, while the giant uterus behind it pulses like living heart. Finn then realizes that this chamber is nothing but experimental cradle, designed to birth this monster. Above them, the true corrupted spirit's brain houses a second forming organ, a heart linked to absorbed ice Wallenstein. The dungeon is divided into three biological enclosures. The brain serves as the seat of control, the heart is a new energy source where true ice located, and the cradle or uterus where Regina's was born. Finn understands they face demonic trinity, and each destined for one battlefield: control, magic, and destruction. While Bell and his group fight on the surface, Finn wages inner battle with exhausted Loki Familia. Regina's not only imitates ice movements, but also Revis, the former enemy, now integrated into its memory. The creature combines brute strength with tactical intelligence, making all cunning ineffective. Amid's healings save their lives 17 times, but the group exhausts, and Riveria was out of magic. She cannot employ her supreme spell. It's then a shock from ceiling interrupts the healer, and Silver Lance pierces Regina's. The Einherjar arrive from Freya Familia, followed by long-awaited reinforcements. Raul and four Yanjin brothers dropping weapons and support potions to survivors, and replacement of blades for Tione and Tsubaki, and mental potions for Amid and Riveria. Finn then directs Einherjar reinforcements, Alan, Alfrig, and others against Regina's. Despite combined power of Orario's best warriors, Regina's absorbs blows and regenerates instantly severed limbs. With each violence burst, the monster counterattacks, arms and tentacles elongated whirl, crushing and hurling Freya Familia warriors far like mere toys. At each violence barrage, the monster laughs. Its overwhelming regeneration shatters all tactical hope. It uses Icewind techniques and learned movements from Revis, surpassing even Alan, the fastest of all. Regina's then prepares his greatest attack, a star flare, a green and white energy sphere like a destructive supernova. Raul, though exhausted, throws himself as human shield, stopping the ray explosion at body's cost, in act of heroic resistance. He endures annihilation slowly, maintains barrier seconds longer than impossible, and finally smiles before being reduced to nothing, fulfilling his protection promise. Just after Raul's sacrificial death, while everyone is shocked by Raul, Regina's prepares to launch second flare attack on survivors. It's then a black hurricane surges and hits Regina's head-on. Asterius, the mightiest warrior of Xenos, enters the scene. He triggers explosion and physically confronts Regina's, hurling him into the wall. Survivors, at force's end, contemplate this titanic duel from Regina's and Asterius, the first true counterweight to the invincible monster. Finally, Lefiya arrives. She was missing and armed and exhausted but alive, determined to play her ultimate role in this symphony of chaos. After Bell and Tiona left Lefiya alone, Bell and Tiona was about to die and Asterius saved them, but Asterius said he can't control himself if he was with Bell, so he decided to be left behind. Asterius alone facing all the spirit remnants. That's when Asterius finds the dying Lefiya and save her. At Raul's death, Lefiya literally sees his shadow disappear. He fulfilled his duty, atoning for his coward past. This heroic conversion triggers general counterattack. Finn, Gareth, Tione, Riveria, and others rise to give meaning to his sacrifice. Asterius, the Black Bull mightiest warrior of the Xenos, becomes the front's pivot, rallying groups' rage and hope around himself. Despite wall of defeats, Lefiya rises, one-armed and unable, stopping her bleeding. She then intones her luminous chant, transforming her own despair into weapon. Supported by Riveria, Lefiya unleashes self-guided wind spell, annihilating first clones for the first time, and the team regains balance. But Regina's engenders 40 more copies, and their victory remains impossible. At moment, everything crumbles. Asterius defeated, Finn cornered, but Lefiya continues singing, not Requiem, but Triumph Song, recalling initial dreams' promise. Combined Lefiya resonance and Riveria's magic create first fissure. Regina's structure begins collapsing. In parallel, Fells enters the play, deploying total healing spell, instantly mending entire Loki and Freya Familia front. At this moment, wave of offensives and heroic chants sweeps dungeon surface. Reinforcements flow in, including Fells's magical golems, mobile healing zones, and entire waves of adventurers and former allied enemies. Regina's, exhausted, retreats toward ice-dark world, desperately seeking to claim Arya's final breath. Finn, Alfrig, Gareth, Tioni, and Alan coordinate 5 devastating impacts. They slash the Its arms, and for first time, his regeneration fails. It's then Lefiya, one-armed at death's gates, decides intoning most dangerous magic forbidden ultimate chant, triggered while surrounded by Regina's copies. Time seems to stop. Facing death, she repels attack after attack, each incantation fragment of her promise and past. Lefiya strikes forbidden spell Ainsel. It's not a simple magic created a double. The White Priestess, protecting Lefiya, is faithful Trace, incarnated through promise and love of Filvis herself, returned as magical guide and soul sister. Lefiya, supported by this aid, enchants Rhea Levatine, setting Regina's ablaze with divine brazier. Unable, regenerating, and overwhelmed by flames. In final light explosion, battlefield singing victory, Lefiya and Filvis reunite. Promise, let's see crown of light together. Filvis, pure grace act, returns. Lefiya's lost arm as fairy light. Symbol of healing, transmission, and broken souls reunification. This gesture is neither classic regeneration nor simple illusion, but Double Ring's ultimate miracle, a proper to this chant fairy gathering. While Underworld collapses before their eyes, main members Fels, Finn, Riveria, Gareth, and Asterius reaffirm enemy defeat and Lefiya's safety. Fels, the sage, attempts consoling Anakitty, weeping Raul's death until miracle occurs. Raul, saved by carbuncle barrier, rises unharmed. Their comic and teary embrace caps this life return miracle. As for Epilogue on Tioni's POV, we understand she could permanently lose her arm. Tioni remains quasi-amnesia regarding Ice Garden's 60 subfloor events. Her memories limit to impression of intense cold, whiteness, silence, and blue seeming like God's terrain arrival, and silhouette of elf resembling Riveria. It was Keldia, a name pronounced by her as Waldstein, at the Thalia Ice Garden Center.